Have you ever reached for a handful of nuts, thinking you were doing something good for your heart, only to wonder, am I really helping my body or quietly harming it? After 50, even the smallest choices in our diet can have surprisingly powerful effects. What's often labeled heart healthy or brain boosting may not tell the full story. Some of the most common nuts, tucked into your pantry or blended into your favorite snack, can trigger inflammation, spike your blood pressure, and even accelerate memory decline without you noticing a thing. The truth is, millions of older adults are eating these every single day, unaware of the damage they may be causing. But here's the good news. Not all nuts are created equal. In fact, just 4 specific varieties can help protect your arteries, sharpen your memory, and support graceful aging from the inside out. In this video, we'll uncover the 4 nuts you should be eating and the 4 you may want to avoid at all costs. One in particular has been linked to hidden liver and kidney damage, and chances are it's already in your kitchen. Before we begin, feel free to leave a comment below sharing where you're watching from. Now let's explore the nut that could be your brain's new best friend. 1. Brazil nuts, the thyroid and brain booster. If there's one tiny food that holds a big secret to aging with vitality, it's the Brazil nut, often overlooked in the snack aisle. This rich, buttery nut becomes a quiet hero for those of us over 50, especially when it comes to thyroid health and brain resilience. Just 1 Brazil nut a day can meet your entire selenium needs, delivering a powerful mineral that many aging bodies unknowingly lack. And here's why that matters. Selenium is like the ignition key for your thyroid. Without it, your energy fades, your metabolism slows, and your mood can dip into sadness without clear cause. The signs, fatigue, weight gain, brain fog, are often mistaken for just getting older. But in truth, they're often rooted in deficiency. Brazil nuts don't just support your thyroid, they protect your nervous system. The healthy fats in these nuts nourish the myelin sheath, the protective covering around your nerves, helping you maintain balance, coordination, and even memory as the years pass. And here's something most people don't realize. Selenium from Brazil nuts is far more absorbable than what you'll find in pills. It binds naturally with proteins, making it easy for your body to recognize and use. That means you're not just supplementing, you're truly fueling your system. But there's a word of caution here. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day is plenty. More than that, and you risk too much selenium, which can be harmful. So let them be a mindful choice, not a handful out of habit. When you eat them, treat them as medicine wrapped in flavor. Beyond thyroid and nerve health, Brazil nuts have a surprising gift for your gut. The oils and fiber help keep digestion smooth, easing constipation gently and naturally. No need for harsh remedies. And because they're rich and satisfying, they make an excellent afternoon snack. They stop sugar cravings in their tracks and help keep blood sugar steady, something every aging body benefits from. Want to get the most out of them? Buy Brazil nuts still in their shells. The tough casing protects their delicate oils, preserving their nutritional power. Keep them in the refrigerator so their healthy fats stay fresh. Avoid pre-shelled ones if you can. They lose potency quickly. Perhaps the most remarkable secret lies at the cellular level. New research suggests that selenium from Brazil nuts may help slow the shortening of telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA that determine how fast your cells age. In simpler terms, longer telomeres, longer life. So next time you reach for a snack, remember this small but mighty gift from nature. 1 Brazil nut a day may not just nourish your body, it may quietly extend the life in your years and the years in your life. 2. Walnuts, the brain's best defense. There's something quietly poetic about walnuts. Their shape, resembling the folds of the human brain, feels less like coincidence and more like a whisper from nature. And for those of us in our 50s and beyond, that whisper becomes a clear call to action. As we age, the brain naturally changes. Processing slows, focus softens, memory slips away at moments we least expect. But here's the hopeful truth. we are not powerless. Walnuts, humble as they may seem, offer one of the most comforting gifts we can give our minds: protection, restoration, and resilience. Rank third on the list of must-eat nuts for a reason. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. This is the kind of nourishment our brain cells deeply crave. A study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that seniors who ate just 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 2 months processed information 22% faster. That's not just a number. It's the difference between feeling sharp in a conversation or struggling to find the right words, between making confident decisions or second-guessing ourselves. What's happening beneath the surface is even more fascinating. The ALA in walnuts helps rebuild the membranes around your brain cells, making them stronger and more efficient. These thicker, healthier membranes translate into clearer thoughts and quicker responses. But walnuts do more than just reinforce. They defend. Their unique compounds can cross the blood-brain barrier, seeking out and calming inflammation, the kind linked to Alzheimer's and other memory-robbing conditions. One handful a day doesn't just feed your brain, it strengthens its natural armor by up to 30%. Struggling with sleep? You're not alone. Melatonin, the hormone that guides our body into rest, decreases naturally with age. But walnuts contain small but mighty amounts of melatonin too. Try eating 6 of them about an hour before bedtime. It's a gentle way to encourage better sleep, deeper, more restorative rest that helps you wake up with clarity and calm. But the benefits of walnuts don't stop at the brain. They also play a protective role for your heart. Inside each walnut is an amino acid called arginine, which helps relax your blood vessels. Think of it as a natural way to support your heart's workload, especially if you're already managing blood pressure with medication. Together, they help your body work smarter, not harder. When it comes to storing walnuts, remember, they're delicate. The healthy oils inside them spoil quickly at room temperature, so keep them in your fridge. Ideally, aim for 7 to 9 walnut halves each day. If you can, crack them yourself. It's a small ritual that keeps your fingers nimble and your coordination sharp. And finally, that slightly bitter taste you might notice? That's the signal your body's receiving something powerful. The bitterness comes from antioxidants, your body's frontline defenders. Don't push it away. Welcome it. Each bite is a quiet act of protection, a small daily promise to your future self. Eat your walnuts and let your brain and your heart feel the difference. 3. Almonds. The bone and heart protector. Sometimes the smallest things make the biggest difference. Take almonds, for example. These smooth little powerhouses carry within them a kind of quiet strength, one that becomes especially valuable after 50. As our bodies age, so much begins to shift. Bones lose their density. Hearts work a little harder. Digestion becomes less predictable. But nature, in its gentle wisdom, offers remedies in the most unassuming places. Ranked number 2 on the list of must-eat nuts, almonds may not shout for attention, but what they do inside your body is nothing short of remarkable. Let's start with your bones. 1 in 3 people over 50 will experience a bone fracture. It's a sobering fact, but almonds offer a form of daily protection. Just a quarter cup delivers nearly 100 milligrams of calcium, an essential mineral for keeping your bones strong and stable. But the true magic lies in their magnesium. You see, calcium on its own isn't enough. It needs direction. That's where magnesium steps in, guiding calcium into your bones rather than letting it drift aimlessly and settle in your arteries. Stronger bones, more flexible vessels. That's how mobility is preserved, not just in motion, but in the confidence to move freely without fear. Almonds also work quietly in service of your heart. Their monounsaturated fats are known to lower LDL cholesterol, the kind that clogs and hardens. So, with each handful, you're not only building skeletal strength, you're giving your heart a gentler rhythm to dance to. Aim for 15 to 20 almonds a day. Choose them raw or dry roasted, and skip the salted varieties. Too much sodium can undermine the very heart benefits these nuts are trying to give you. But perhaps one of the most overlooked gifts of almonds is what they do for your digestion. Constipation affects nearly 40% of older adults, often quietly, often embarrassingly. Yet, in 15 almonds, you'll find just the right dose of natural fiber to keep things moving, gently, consistently, without pills or harsh side effects. It's a small daily habit that can make mornings feel lighter and more comfortable. The benefits don't stop there. Almonds also show promise in guarding the mind. As we age, oxidative stress becomes more common in the brain, slowly wearing away at memory and focus. But research from Tufts University has shown that almonds may help reduce that damage. The secret lies in the skin, rich in flavonoids. Those papery brown layers work with vitamin E inside the almond to double their antioxidant power. That means more protection for your brain cells and a greater chance of staying sharp and steady through the years. One note of caution: whole almonds, while nutritious, can be tough to chew. For those with swallowing difficulties, be sure to chew thoroughly or opt for slivered or chopped varieties. This isn't just about safety. It's about making each bite an act of nourishment, not risk. So the next time you open the pantry and reach for a snack, let it be almonds, a small act, a quiet nut, a daily gesture of care for your bones, your heart, your gut, and your mind. The path to strength and stability doesn't always come from dramatic changes. Sometimes it's found in the simple, thoughtful choices we make, one almond at a time. 4. Pistachios, the blood pressure and vision ally. There's something comforting about pistachios: the gentle crack of their shell, the delicate crunch, the rich green nestled inside. But beneath that simple pleasure lies a gift, especially for those of us navigating life after 50. Pistachios aren't just a tasty snack. They're nature's way of offering quiet support to two areas that become more vulnerable with age: our blood pressure and our vision. If each passing year seems to bring a few extra points on the blood pressure monitor, you're not alone. But there's encouraging news. Ranked #1 on our must-eat list, pistachios offer a gentle, natural way to bring those numbers down. Low in sodium, yet packed with potassium, about 285 milligrams per ounce. They help your kidneys flush out excess salt, which in turn eases the pressure on your arteries. Just a handful a day can lower your systolic reading by 3 to 5 points. And the best part? They do it without the dizzy spells, fatigue, or other side effects that often come with medication. But pistachios go beyond the heart. They're also fierce defenders of your eyesight. Each nut carries lutein and zeaxanthin, two nutrients known for protecting the macula, the tiny yet vital part of your eye that helps you see faces, read words, and recognize the beauty around you. With macular degeneration now the leading cause of vision loss after 60, adding these protective compounds to your diet isn't just helpful, it's essential. Their texture makes them even more senior-friendly, softer than almonds or walnuts. Pistachios are kind to dental work and easier on sensitive teeth. If you've ever hesitated before crunching into a nut, you'll appreciate how gently pistachios treat your mouth. And those vibrant green and purple hues? They come from natural antioxidants working behind the scenes to slow down cell damage, which may help keep your skin, brain, and body feeling younger from the inside out. What's truly special about pistachios is how they invite you to be present. Shelling each one isn't just an act of preparation, it's a pause, a moment of mindfulness. That small delay between bites naturally slows you down, making you more aware of what you're eating. Research even confirms it. A study published in the International Journal of Obesity found that people who shelled their pistachios ate 41% less without feeling less satisfied. The pile of empty shells builds up gently, offering a quiet reminder of how much you've already enjoyed. Simple, subtle portion control. For those dealing with arthritis or weakened grip strength, look for half-open pistachios. They're easier to handle, require no tools or frustration, and still provide all the benefits. Around 49 nuts, or 1 ounce a day, is the sweet spot. Choose unsalted or lightly salted versions to protect your heart and kidneys. And if you're managing blood sugar, here's one more reason to love them. Each serving contains about 3 grams of fiber, which helps slow sugar absorption. That's a gentle but meaningful benefit for the 1 in 4 adults over 65 living with diabetes or prediabetes. So next time you sit down for a snack, let pistachios be more than a treat. Let them be a small, steady step toward clearer vision, steadier blood pressure, and a more mindful connection to your health. Sometimes, wellness really can begin with something as simple as cracking open a shell. 5. Macadamia nuts, the high-fat heart risk. There's no denying that macadamia nuts taste luxurious. Their buttery richness, soft crunch, and velvety texture feel like a treat meant for special occasions. But after 50, indulgence needs to be met with awareness. And when it comes to macadamias, that awareness could save you from more than just a few extra pounds. Ranking first on our never touch list, these glossy little nuts hide more than their smooth surface reveals. Just 1 ounce of macadamias contains about 200 calories and an eye-opening 22 grams of fat. For someone in their 30s with a fast metabolism, that might not mean much. But after 50, when metabolism begins to naturally slow down and weight becomes more stubborn, that fat can accumulate in places we never expected. It's not just about the scale, it's about what happens inside. Excess fat puts added strain on your organs, especially your gallbladder. And if you're among the 15% of adults over 50 with silent gallstones, one rich handful could trigger a painful, unexpected gallbladder attack. Then there's the issue of saturated fat. Macadamias may seem harmless, but they pack around 3 grams of saturated fat per serving. That type of fat is known to raise LDL cholesterol, the bad kind that increases your risk of heart disease. If you're already working to manage cholesterol with lifestyle changes or medication, macadamias could quietly undo your progress without you even realizing it. Your teeth, too, deserve a second thought. As we age, enamel thins and calcium absorption decreases. The dense texture of macadamias can be harsh on dental work like crowns or bridges, and may even crack vulnerable teeth if you're not careful. What once was a pleasant crunch could become a costly dental visit. And while their price point alone might be reason to reconsider, macadamias are among the most expensive nuts. It's not just about cost, it's about value. If you're buying in bulk to save, but storing them improperly, the fats in macadamias can oxidize, turning rancid and harming your health instead of nourishing it. It's also important to know that most commercially available macadamias are oil-roasted and heavily salted. These additions strip away what little nutritional grace they offer, replacing it with excess sodium and processed oils that disrupt blood pressure and lipid balance. Even if you choose raw varieties, the rich flavor of macadamias can make it easy to overeat, especially if your palate leans toward bold, satisfying snacks. It's not hard to go beyond the recommended portion size without even noticing, and once you do, the damage is often already done. There's a common belief that all nuts support heart health, but it's worth noting that most studies highlight nuts like walnuts, almonds, or pistachios, not macadamias. While they may occasionally be mentioned, they are not the stars of heart-healthy eating patterns. That can lead to a false sense of reassurance, one that encourages daily consumption of a nut that offers far more risk than reward for an aging body. If you're craving something satisfying that truly supports your health, consider reaching for pistachios instead. They offer a balance of healthy fats, antioxidants, fiber, and a crunch that won't compromise your heart, your weight, or your smile. Sometimes the smartest choices are the ones that still feel like a treat, but carry your body forward, not hold it back. 6. Pine nuts, the medication and digestion disruptor. At first glance, pine nuts seem harmless, tiny, delicate, often hidden in gourmet salads or pesto sauces. But for those of us over 50, they may carry risks that quietly work against the very stability we've worked so hard to preserve. Ranked number 3 on the list of nuts to avoid, pine nuts can interact with up to 60% of medications commonly prescribed to older adults, including statins, antidepressants, and blood pressure medications. These interactions don't always show up immediately, but they can reduce the effectiveness of your treatment or cause subtle complications over time. There's also a little-known condition called pine mouth. For some people, eating pine nuts leads to a bitter, metallic taste that lingers for days or even weeks. It may seem like a small annoyance, but it can quickly take the joy out of eating, leading to unintentional weight loss and poor appetite. Something older adults can't afford to ignore. Our bodies become more sensitive to taste changes with age, and toxins take longer to clear. That's why what seems like a harmless snack can hit harder than expected. Beyond that, pine nuts can be tough on digestion. They contain natural enzyme inhibitors that block protein absorption, an issue that's especially critical after 50, when our bodies already struggle to break down and use protein efficiently. The result: increased risk of muscle loss, weakness, and a greater chance of falls. For anyone managing arthritis or joint inflammation, pine nuts' oxidized fats may further inflame the body, making everyday movements more painful. Their small size can also pose a choking hazard, particularly for anyone with dry mouth or difficulty swallowing due to medication. While they may add flair to certain dishes, pine nuts aren't worth the risk. Your body deserves foods that nourish without compromise. Let pine nuts be one ingredient you kindly set aside in favor of something safer, wiser, and better suited to the vibrant years ahead. 7. Peanuts. The inflammatory liver threat. Peanuts may be a familiar snack, but after 50, they deserve a closer look. Ranked number 2 on the list of nuts to avoid. These legumes, yes, they're not true nuts, come with hidden risks that quietly build over time. Grown underground in moist soil, peanuts are especially vulnerable to a mold called aflatoxin. For younger bodies, these toxins may be filtered out without much consequence. But as we age, our liver's ability to detoxify naturally declines. That makes these mold residues far more harmful, raising the risk of liver damage and, in some cases, even cancer. Even without a peanut allergy, these snacks can silently ignite inflammation throughout the body. That's especially troubling for older adults already managing joint discomfort, cardiovascular concerns, or cognitive decline. Peanuts are also extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, a type of fat that, in excess, can fan the flames of inflammation rather than fight them. In fact, when most people over 50 already consume more omega-6 than their bodies can handle, each handful of peanuts may seem harmless, but it could be quietly pushing your heart and brain closer to imbalance. There's also a medication concern many people don't realize. Peanuts contain vitamin K, which can interfere with blood thinners like warfarin. If you're on anticoagulants, a common prescription for seniors, this small interaction could change how your medication works. And peanut butter? Even the natural kinds often contain added sodium. Processed brands are worse, loaded with hydrogenated oils, sugar, and salt, ingredients that drive up blood pressure and add unnecessary strain to your heart. Peanuts also spoil quickly, especially when stored in warm, humid places. As they turn rancid, they release harmful free radicals that damage your cells and accelerate aging. Dry roasted varieties may contain acrylamide, a chemical byproduct linked to memory loss and increased cognitive stress. Even if you've never felt a problem, peanuts might still be working against you. Try swapping them for safer, anti-inflammatory options like walnuts or pistachios just a few days a week. Small changes can bring quiet relief to your heart, joints, and mind without sacrificing the joy of a good snack. 8. Cashews, the blood sugar saboteur. Cashews may look innocent, even luxurious, but for those of us over 50, they deserve a second thought. Ranked number 1 on the never touch list, cashews can quietly disrupt some of the most delicate systems in your body, especially blood sugar control. Each ounce delivers about 9 grams of carbohydrates, yet barely any fiber to slow the spike. That means your blood sugar can rise faster than you expect. And for the 1 in 4 older adults living with diabetes, or the nearly half in the pre-diabetic range, that's a risk you don't want to take lightly. The danger doesn't stop there. Cashews are soft, creamy, and incredibly easy to overeat, especially when mixed into trail mixes or ground into spreads. Their curved shape, while appealing, can also pose a choking hazard. In fact, 32% of choking incidents in older adults involve cashews, often due to slowed reflexes or dry mouth from medications. Cashews also contain high levels of oxalates, compounds that can bind with calcium and interfere with absorption. Over time, that may lead to weaker bones and a higher risk of kidney stones, two issues that already become more pressing with age. And while cashews are processed to remove a natural toxin, a cousin to poison ivy's urushiol, that heavy treatment strips away many of their original nutrients. To make matters worse, most store-bought cashews are oil-roasted and salted, adding unhealthy fats and sodium that can burden your heart and raise blood pressure. Plus, their enzyme inhibitors can slow digestion and block protein absorption, making it harder for aging bodies to get the nourishment they need. If you're craving something nutty, reach instead for almonds or walnuts. They offer better support for blood sugar, bone health, and digestion, without the silent setbacks. Aging well is all about choosing foods that work for you, not against you, and cashews, despite their charm, may not be worth the cost. After 50, every small decision holds power, including the ones we make at the snack bowl. Choosing the right nuts isn't just about nutrition. It's about protecting your heart, your memory, and your independence. Let today be the day you swap confusion for clarity and start fueling the version of you that still has so much life ahead. If any part of this video spoke to you, drop a quick "Feel More Alive" in the comments. And if you'd like more simple insights like this, consider subscribing to stay connected. Keep choosing wisely. Your strongest years may still be just beginning.